Thank you for joining us. If you're looking to start a print-on-demand business, then you've come to the right place. We've gotten a lot of frequently asked questions, and tonight we're going to go through what we consider the most frequently asked questions for people just getting started. We have started this Wingman University channel to help people build print-on-demand businesses and add additional income streams. We are not gurus. We've failed a lot, had a lot of successes, and we just want to use our knowledge to help you go further faster.
And this person was saying they started playing around with print on demand last year, but this year they want it to be a bigger part of their business. And what is the best way to scale a print on demand business? I know that's a packed question, but.
Yeah, I guess I don't think there's a right way. I think as we help more people and grow our own business on multiple platforms, I'm learning that there is not a right way. We have a process that we've built, and I guess that would be my answer to that question. Like, how do you scale your business? Build a process and start trying to build those into jobs that you can then hire out, because that's what we did. Now we don't necessarily work on our POD business. We have teams of people doing research. We have teams of people doing art, and then we're putting those products across multiple platforms and product lines and going after certain niches. But I would say if you're looking to scale your business, find a process. It's not, again, this is not like you figure it out and then you're done. We took the 8 months, 12-hour days to figure out what worked best for us and then built a process from it. We have a name for it now. We did not in the beginning, and even like the first 2 years of doing this, we didn't have a name for it. As we go out and teach more, we've figured out ways to name things that we're doing. I call our Wingman approach discover, understand, serve, because what we're trying to do is discover an audience, a niche, a sub-niche to go after, to target, then understand them, learn what they like, what they don't like, the keywords, the colors, the designs, and then serve them the best way we can. What platforms are they on? Where do they mostly hang out? How do we advertise to them? Just like learning and building a customer avatar, but through POD. We used to run a ton of PPC ads. We used to spend a lot of money to gather like customer information so that we can better target them. It's almost like we flipped paying all that money for PPC and replaced it with just putting up products on POD. We put a lot of shirts out. We put a lot of books out just for feelers. And it's almost like we're running ads, but instead of paying for the ads, we get paid from customers actually purchasing that stuff. Then we take that data, I was going to say synthesize it, but we take that information, we process what worked, and then go back after and double down and target that market better with better products, with better information, and then build a customer avatar. And then that's how we build out a business around that niche that we.
I pulled this question because I knew that there was going to be a lot of theory in there and you breaking down kind of the bigger picture of what we're able to do. But I think this question is good for all my people who want practical advice out there. And so this person was asking, you talked a lot about consistency and taking action last week, but my question is, what are some good print-on-demand habits to have in 2020?
I think to answer, like, what are your best habits? It is that find a routine that works for you. If you want to watch a long process, you can watch me and my mom. I helped my mom start on KDP and find success. It took her 2 months, but it was a lot of hours that we put in to be able to find her process. I almost started with this discover, understand, serve idea with her, but found out very quickly, like, she was having a hard time opening up the programs, seeing what to open, and then what next step to go off. She was trying to use our process that we built, but it was just too convoluted for her. We use Google Docs. We use, like, our system is a custom built system for us, and it didn't work for her. So now she just opens up a Word doc and then has everything written down, and then just like through the Word doc steps through it instead of using Trello, instead of using other programs that we use. She built a custom process for her. I would, again, suggest finding something that works for you, build it into a process, and then build habits around that. I don't think there's like something I could say is like, you know what a habit needs to be? Every day, wake up and do 5 minutes of keyword. Like, you have to kind of figure out your process. And then within your process, I think you're going to be able to build habits inside that. It's funny because I actually was messaging Nate earlier today. I'm getting back into working out because it's January and we have done nothing but eat for the last 2 months, or at least I have. and I want to get back to working out. I have playlists that I have for workout songs, and I was just like, I want to refresh that. So I put playlists together for workout songs, but I also have playlists when I'm trying to figure out or learn something. So when I was learning editing, I have an Adobe editor playlist, and then like all the videos that I find that are helpful to me, I put in that playlist and then put that together. I normally leave it public so that other people can learn my process of doing things, but I would suggest that, like, if you're trying to build habits, find the videos that you can go to, or anytime you're stuck, go back to, and then start putting those into a playlist. And maybe start, before you do anything, start watching that playlist, so at least it like jogs or jump starts where you want to be, and then you can just get right back into it. Because something that, as we're helping a lot of people, I find difficult for them is to get back into the groove once they stop. They know how to do the research, they know how to do the design, they know how to do everything. Then life happens. They have to take a week off or go out of town or do something. It's like when they come back, then it's like Nathaniel was talking about, that gears. The gears just don't quite line up, and it prevents them from taking action. But if you build a process, or at least a habit of going back and watching that playlist, then it'd be like, okay, now I remember how my process and how I can get back into my process. Something else that me and Nathaniel addressed a while ago is it better to spend one day a week and do the business, or is it better to spend each day? We went back and forth on that for a long time. I think I'm changing my mind, because I used to say, I think you just focus in on one thing a day and do it. But I almost think it's better if you can cut out like 20 minutes a day and just be consistent, so you're doing it throughout the week. That seems to be helping a lot more people, and actually putting it into your schedule. If you use the paper schedule like me, or whiteboards everywhere like me, or something like Nathaniel does, is actually have it on Google Calendar, like schedule out the time and make sure you're hitting those times daily. So if you're taking the kids to work, and then if you're taking the kids to school and then going to work, do you have time after work before you pick up the kids to like spend 20 minutes on the business, or even on your phone doing some research? Like, just build in the time so that you can stay consistent that way throughout the week.
Yeah, I think that's really good. That's the one thing that I was going to say, is definitely like time management is a big thing. And the only way that you can be consistent is, maybe not the only way. For me, the only way I was able to be consistent is if things actually are on my calendar. So now I actually run my day in 20-minute increments, making sure that I'm hitting all the things that I want to do. On top of that, a habit that I have and that I'm getting back into the routine of now that we're past all holiday season, is having 3 things every day that I have to get done. And so those 3 things can vary widely. You know, it could be get 100 listings done, or call this person. So it's not like they're equally balanced. But those 3 things like just are things that I can look at the end of the day and be like, did I get those done, and feel accomplished about them? So having some goals in the morning, you know, waking up being like, okay, what's the 3 things I have to get done today? And then throughout the day, you know, there's always distractions and things that come up. But before I go to sleep, I want to make sure that these 3 things are done. And it doesn't always happen. There are days that you have to like push it on to the next day. But for the most part, that keeps me kind of consistent. And it's just a habit that I personally have created. I probably heard it in a book or something like that before, but something that I've been doing on and off for the last 3 years, and something that I'm getting back into the groove of doing now, and just finding it helping me a lot, as you know, there's been other things pressing on my schedule now. It's not just we have all day to work on this business anymore. So I was like, as long as I can get these 3 things done every day, then I'm feeling good about this business, and seeing the process of you know, taking action daily and being consistent actually still helping us grow.
No matter where you're at in your business, if you're just getting started, if you feel like you're kind of an expert in this space, I think we've touched on this a little bit, and something that we really need to do in our business is focus your efforts. We last year were very guilty of just being all over the place, helping people, working on our own business, going out of town, working on partnership deals. We were very unfocused. And coming to the end of last year, me and Nathaniel were both kind of unhappy of where the business was at. And then we said, okay, that's where we talked about changing hats, and like, who needs to focus on what part of the business, who do we need to work with, so we could take a lot of the time out of this, but still pursue it because it's something we're passionate about. Like teaching, who can we partner up with? So it's not like, that's not our full business. We don't want to be full-time teachers. We like working on the business. We like working with people on their business as consultants. And like Nathaniel's doing, I don't know if you have a name for it yet, but like going out and working with people that have audiences and be able to help them monetize those audiences in a lot of different interesting ways. POD as one of them. That's why we've started the Shopify journey. But focus your time, your energy, your efforts. We sell across multiple platforms. We sell on multiple products. We help a lot of people. Something that we are doing is cutting out a lot of the noise and really trying to focus our efforts. Find what my skills are, find what Daniel's skills are, and kind of get back to the basics. I think we can still help a lot of people, but in our zone of genius, as Christy would say. I am very good, or I feel very confident and have a lot of experience with analytics. I'm going to say SEO, even though I'm not a big fan of that term, but just understanding the data and the analytics to be able to process and know what the next step is for your business. I think that's why we had a lot of success in merch, because I was able to track all this stuff, kind of see the bigger picture, know what we should be focusing our efforts on, and that's kind of why that blew up. But for you in your business, that would be my suggestion. Focus, look at what's working for you, slowly add things in. Don't try to go too crazy, that we are extremely guilty of, so that you get overwhelmed and then it like slows down everything. If you want to go back and watch any of the videos that we were doing when I was trying to learn how to edit, you can see I'm just mentally drained, I'm fried, I'm angry, I'm aggravated. You can hear me talk about it on the call. Like, I just spent 4 hours trying to figure this out and I didn't get anywhere and it was a waste of my time and I stayed up till 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, just slow things down. Nathaniel brings up this 1% better. I think that should be your focus. What are you working on? What skills are you trying to develop? And slowly get better over time, instead of trying to rush everything and getting overwhelmed and then feeling crushed and then not making any progress.
Yeah, something Carol Woods just said in the comments I think is good, and something that we are practicing a lot more now is, instead of just worrying about the what I need to get done today, is thinking about like the schedule and what can I get done this month. So like I just said, you having those 3 things that I have to get done each day is good, but planning what those 3 things are going to be before the day starts is kind of the realization that me and Steven have had maybe a month or 2 ago. We're like, okay, now we really need to practice. Like, let's get ahead of ourselves. Let's look at our schedule, a week, 2 weeks, even a month in advance, and be like, what are the actual things that we're going to be doing on each of those days? So I completely agree with you that we need to start just getting better at that. And it's all a process. We're learning along with you guys. So that is definitely true for us and our scheduling habits.